Hey there, welcome to Alpine Bravo. My name's Brendan. This is my channel for all things Microsoft Flight Simulator, and just doing a quick stream tonight in the Airbus H145 by High Performance Group, which we can see here. And we're doing a short mission, a mountain rescue from the HM Coast Guard base at Inverness Airport over towards Cannock and Glen Affric. We're looking for some injured walkers who've been camping over there. And we'll pick the casualty up and probably take them back to Raigmore Hospital in Inverness. Well, you can probably hear it's pretty windy, which we're in live weather, not in live time, because it would be dark and that's kind of boring. But it's live weather, so we've got winds at 270, 17 knots. It's actually showing a lot higher than that in the simulator, 20, 28 knots. Good visibility, showers in the vicinity, a few clouds at 2,200, broken 3,600. Well, it's better than that. You can see some thicker cloud off over to the east, and the altimeter is well, QNH I should say, as we're in the UK, is 0999er. So shouldn't take too long to get over there. It's not that far, about 30 miles or so, 35 miles or so. I'll work it out in a minute. Right, that's pretty much everything. We'll not bother with any ATC. Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't really support helicopter operations in ATC, and I'm not going to bother with VATSIM at this time of night. So we'll just do normal departure operations for Rescue 151, which is to take off from the apron. So we'll just hover taxi a short distance over to the H sign there, and we'll do a Category 1 vertical takeoff, and then proceed to the west. Okay, let's hop back into the cockpit and get on with our checklists. Okay, startup checklist. We're going to make sure our beacon is on, and then we'll get the master battery on. I'll see the screens coming up there. Okay, power up test OK is showing. I'll just acknowledge the messages that we've got. Okay, on the VMS, which we've got on center MFD numbers, and we're going to validate the weight entries, and we'll go previous. Okay, well, we're all within tolerances. Our cyclic and collective are locked. Prime pumps can go on. DC voltage is 24.3, which is above the 23.5 required. And we can go for an engine start now, and we'll start the left engine first. Start shown. N1 rising. Top rising. And there's some torque coming through. And it's showing us at idle, and we will start engine 2. N1 rising. Okay, there's our top rising. Idle showing. Okay, hydraulics good, engine oil's good. Left and right, main gearbox oil is good. Okay, it's good engine start. And startup test, okay. Okay, our avionics can now go on. 1 and 2. Standby battery on. Pitot heats 1 and 2 on. Prime pumps can go off and transfer pumps on. External lights, nav, strobe, and takeoff light. Now that's as much as I can do without looking at the overhead. DC reception on, ventilation. I don't think we really require any heating, bleed heat or air conditioning. I think that's all good. One thing we'll do is make sure LVARs is on. Okie doke. It's all good. Right. We can pop the autopilots on. Okay, and we'll do our pre-flight tests.
Audio test, audio test, audio test, audio test.
Okay. Just doing the pre-flight test now. Get rid of METAR while we're waiting for that. Okay, we've still got our external power unit connected. I think we can leave that now. So we'll go to aircraft. Let's disconnect that. And we'll just zoom out. Get an idea of where we are. So here we are in Inverness Airport, heading over to Mechanic, pretty much to the west. And what have we got? We've got destination 25 nautical miles. 25.5 nautical miles. Okay, I think we are now ready for the before takeoff checklist. So we just need to set our altimeter. Pop our transponder on to altitude reporting mode, and we'll set our altimeters. Here we'll put in a decision altitude 4,000, decision height of 200. Just have to do the other altimeters. Okie doke, that's all good. Put that on to synthetic vision, which is not working for some reason. Check that again. Right, navigation display on and on to sector and HTOS on, and that can go into vehicle management. Just pop the tablet away. Okay, so HTOS is on. Briefing. Okay, well, we'll go into a hover, do a hover check, then hover taxi over to the H for vertical takeoff. We'll go up to 200 feet and then we will turn on to a heading of 250. Right, all our bugs are set. We can now put the engines into flight. Engine 1, engine 2, and air guarded. Okay, warnings master list is clear. Instruments all looking good. Altimeters are set. Autopilots are on. Okay, that is us ready, and get things on the go. Final thing to check will be the old head tracking, which has a horrible habit of crashing out, but let's see if it works on us now. Okay, so just pulling up the collective, and I have trim release engaged. I've changed the way I do trim release. I was having a lot of problems with the flying the helicopter, and I think it was all down to trim release. Whoa, that's that wind. Okay. I'm going to turn into the wind. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, warnings are clear. Take off power. It's 250 feet. Clear any obstacles. We'll just turn it on to our heading, 250. We're already picking up transitional lift. And our heading. Feet. We'll target 1,000 feet and we'll try and fly with the terrain just for fun. Okay, landing light can go off. Get that synthetic vision. Yeah, synthetic vision seems not to be working. That's a new bug. Starting a bit of collective. Ooh. Get some speed up with a pretty strong headwind. Yeah, only doing 82 knots across the ground at the minute. So we'll fly out over the Keswick Bridge here, and then we'll head up towards Beaulieu. Pick up the valleys heading into, or the Glens I should say, heading into still hand flying it here. It's 1,000 feet at last. There's Inverness, Keswick Bridge. You can see the city towards the centre, and then there's the Inverness Football Club, whatever they're called, and the big Longman Industrial Estate, Keswick Bridge. Okay, acknowledged. This is just crossing under 1,000 feet again. Tiring flying the H145 by hand. So autopilot is engaged. Flying the bleed trim now. Also, I'm not sure if it's part of the auto flight system, but collective doesn't seem to always hold its position. Okay, we've got 11 minutes, 10 minutes to our destination. Visibility is clear enough. Showing 25 knots of headwind here, which figures. I'm getting 120 knots indicated and 103 over the ground. Crew's all looking good in the back there. Welcome if you just joined the stream. On our way to Pippa Casualty in Glen Affric in the H145 flying Rescue 15. Just leaving Inverness behind. Yeah. Viewers come, viewers go. So the latest information is that they are camped on or near the summit of Cairngorm, just immediately to the north of the little village of Cannock, which is at the head of Glen Affric. And Cairngorm is 677 meters, so that is going to be about 2,000 feet. So we're definitely going to have to climb. We're at 1,100 feet at the moment. Making 108 knots over the ground. Temperatures and pressures are all good. Now, must remember to pop on the inlet barrier filters when we are going to try and land for this casualty rather than winch. We'll see what the terrain is like. If it's no good, then we will go into a hover and winch. Okay, picking up 106 knots now. Changing the map to topographic. Just keep an eye on the terrain, and we'll follow the river, which I'm assuming is the River Beely. Just confirm that. It is the River Beely. So we can follow it up to the bend to the left at Stroy. We'll follow that round, and that will take us down towards Cannock. It's actually the River Glass that we'll be following at that point, as it joins the Beely at Stroy. It's just me Steering it using bleak trim. All very smooth. I wonder what's happened to the old synthetic vision. It's definitely not playing ball. Okay, this is us coming up to Strew. We'll turn to the left here and see the white flashing MFDs there. That's a new bug that's come. Now I think that's Cairngorm right in front of the helicopter there, so they should be somewhere up on that slope there. It really does like to bounce around a bit when you're steering it using beat trim. Now we'll start climbing as well. Use the beat trim on the collective. And set a target of 2,200. Make it 2,300. It's to be on the safe side. So I think that's Cairngorm there, but we'll just keep on following the River Glass down. And climb up towards our target altitude. This is passing 1,700. And the reason I'm doing this is not only to help me navigate, but also so I can turn into the wind. Which I'm going to do now. If I turn towards the summit now, that should bring us in. Now what I am going to do pilot off. And start slowing as well. On good approach now. Don't slow too much, the wind is strong enough to blow us backwards. I don't know if it's something that Microsoft did, or whether it's because I've got Orbix scenery. I don't think it's the Orbix Scotland, Northern UK scenery, but it just must be Microsoft. But the photogrammetry of the Scottish hills is really excellent, really detailed, as good as I've seen in the sim. Right, our happy campers should be coming up. So we'll try and slow it without gaining any more altitude. There's a tent. Well, it's going to get blown away, chap, sorry. Yeah, there's a cluster of tents there. matches the information we had received. Okay, I just want to hover around. Yeah.
Caution, terrain.
So just to the right of the tents looks like a pretty good spot. Yeah, we've got 30 knots of wind, so even though we're showing, oh, there's a fire there. So even though we are 40 indicated, we gained a little bit too much height, but it's alright.
Decision making.
Continue. Don't want to just sliding forward. Slightly now. Defeat. Wind effect. Okay, touch the back skid first, but too bad. Right, here we are. Okay, I'll just pop the head tracking off. And we can put the unguard the engines and into idle. What did I forget to do? I forgot to put the inlet barrier filters on. They should come on automatically, but there we go. I would have completely blown those tents away, I'm telling you. So we'll just wait for the crew to do their thing. Nice spot, if you can. Oh, you're just going to go straight through his tent. No regard. Still, it's an emergency. Not sure you'd push the stretcher. Goes the whole top. Oh, he's in a bad way. All messed up. At some point, he will go on to the stretcher. Yeah, I think I managed to find probably the best spot. Yeah, it's pretty much the flattest spot. Oh, he's on his way back. Yeah, this whole side of it's done really well, I think. I mean, the pilot, you wouldn't be having to manage the doors and all of that for the evacuation. You know what? This really is a really nice spot for a high-level camp. Great views down Glen Affric there. Oh, my lord.
Cabin is secure.
Okay, our cabin is secure. Go back into the cockpit. Now then, we're going to have to select a hospital normally. Just acknowledge that message. Right, select hospital from the map. Well, that's going to be Raigmore, which is the set the destination. Okay, fly to the hospital, it says. Let's pop that away, and our engines can go back into flight. Unguarded. Watching that rotor RPM come up. Fuel, plenty of fuel. Just adding some payload for the passenger, we'll validate that. We're well within all our limits. Okay, dokie. Right. The tracking can go back on. Right, let's get our takeoff. Bring up the collective. We're clear left, clear right. No obstacles to speak of. We'll just get it off the ground and then move forward. Okay, there's Canic down in there. So we'll just head back to Inverness. But let's take a direct route. We will engage the upper modes. A couple of nav. Just bring us round onto our track. Bleep the speed up to 120, and now we've got a nice tailwind. So she gives a push along. Oh, look at that. And it's taking us all the way up to the north to intercept the course. Would it really do that? Should have flown it more into an intercept before engaging nav. Anyway, there's a good view of the River Glass. Bounced around a bit. Gusty. Okay, let's bring these on to track. We've just got 16 nautical miles, 6 minutes. Not far. You can almost see it from, in fact, you can just see the cassock on the bridge. Well, we'll clear the hills here, and then we'll, in fact, I'll start looping it down to 2,000 feet, and then we'll bring it down to 1,000 for our approach to Raigmore. One thing they need to work on is the heat blur effect from the engines. It doesn't look very good. It's a shame because the rest of the exterior model is fantastic. And I do like this livery as well. Ness is just over the other side of that hill there. I'm just going through this very lush farmland. Well, we're cracking along at 147 knots over the ground. A lot quicker going back. No one was getting there. Let's bring the altitude down to 1500. skimming these hills. Plenty of fuel. Temperatures and pressures are all good. Start slowing it down now because Inverness comes up pretty quick and we are going very fast. So we'll bleep it down to 90. You're not going to go too slow because with this wind direction I'll overfly Raigmore and turn around and come in to the wind. That power line there. Well, there's Inverness laid out in front of us. Raigmore Hospital is in here somewhere. And the GPS is taking us straight to it. Radio masts and cell phone towers, courtesy of We Love BFR. Yeah, let's just clear the hill. We'll bring the altitude down now to 800. Well, all the way down to 500. And we'll bring the speed down as well. There's 500 set. Set 70 knots. And we'll get ready to go manual. So it's a good idea to... Okay.
Caution, terrain.
Noted. Okay, autopilot's off.
Warning, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Inverness Castle there. Pretty much the city centre. Oh, there's a couple of big masts around. Okay, that is the hospital. How do I know? It's got a ginormous car park like all hospitals. And there is Raigmore helipad. Oh, we've got all the cars popping in. Yeah, helipad is clear, so we'll just fly past and we'll turn around, passing over the A9. There's a big shopping mall. Okay, we're doing 57 knots off the ground. Yeah, you can really tell we've got a big tailwind chasing us. Right, we'll just start our turn.
Caution, terrain.
It's the University of the Highlands and Islands campus there. building. It's all Orbix landmarks. Okay, and we have the helipad. We're nicely into the wind. Climbing though, which is not good. 150 feet. Just there's a bit of altitude.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Okay, there's the pad. A little high.
Caution, terrain.
The ambulance. Continue. Try and get it right into the wind. Correct any drift. We have a marshal alert. Okay, there's a bit of dust being kicked up. Feet. Try and land on the helipad. Down and do the usual ground effect sliding around. Okay, there we are, we're down. Landed skids first again. Yeah, there's the ambulance waiting. Right, we can pop our head tracking off and we can on-guard engines and put them to idle. Well, my landings are getting better. They've got a lot better since I figured out that my trim release wasn't working properly in the way that I'd set it up in SPAD, and Dave, the developer at HPG, was able to give me some advice on the Discord how to configure it better, and that worked really well. Now using the latch rather than just using the sort of the trim release. I'm using the latch event and it sort of triggered on holding the button and then released on releasing the button. I still have to fly with the button held down, but that's alright. Well, that didn't take him long to deliver the patient. It's a little custom airport helipad that I've made for Raigmore, which is getting closer to the real thing. The next step is to maybe do sort of the roads and try and improve the grass around it as well. Okay, and that's the cabin secure. And now let me see if I bring up the mission complete, submit our report, but it's not quite over for us yet because we have to return to base. So our engines can no, don't want to put the windscreen wiper on, and our engines can go back into flight and guarded. We can pop that tablet away. Right. No warnings. Our RPM is good, bringing the torque up. Just trying to maintain our heading. I really don't like flying backwards. It's better than flying forwards into those apartment buildings. Feet. No obstacles. Just go down on any of those big masts. Car around. Games. Take off power. Just get it up. Okay, there's that mast. Inverness Airport is just over here. You can see it. So I'll just hand fly the whole way. Take it back to where we started. Just follow the A93 coast road. We've got no traffic. To be concerned about. Lovely evening. Wind seems to have dropped a bit. Oh, we do have traffic. We've got a King Air. 5,000 feet. The beam. Not sure I'm going to see him. Well, he's well above me and a lot faster. So let's get back to flying. So we'll actually enter the circuit. Runway 23. 6,000 feet confirmed. What I'll do is I'll come past on the downwind, and then I'll just turn into the land at the helipad. There's some traffic on the taxiway. King Air. It's 500 feet. Altitude 410. Radio. 56 over the ground. Just get hover mode on. That really helps with situational awareness. Well, there's our landing spot there. There's the tower. That's the Scottish Air Ambulance hangar there. Well, we're going slow enough to need the tail route to bring us around. He's backtracking. Flying with flying helos, it's definitely much more instinctual. Not really flying by the numbers quite as much as I would in a fixed wing. Definitely the visual cues are really important.
Caution, terrain.
It really helps with the H145 because the avionics are so good. Okay, we're nicely into the wind. It's getting pushed to the left a little.
Decision height.
Continue. Let's wait for us to come into ground effect. Yep, there's a ground effect. Well, that wasn't so good. Yeah, it's really hard when you come into ground effect and you just start sliding. Well, anyway, that'll do. I'm not going to bother hover taxiing it over to the parking spot. We will just shut it down there. So we'll click down, and our engines can get unguarded and idle. Okay, landing lights off, strobes off. Nav lights off, preheat's off. Our fuel pumps can go off. Alternate battery off. Just let the engine spin down. Turn head tracking off as well now. King Air is away. Okay, that's our engines spun down. We will now switch and move off. Okay, avionics can go off. And our anti-collision can go off, and our master battery can go off. And there we are. And a good little mission in the H145. Thank you very much for watching. If you stayed for this, see you for the next one.